I fold my hands and I welcome you all to this journey. And if you're not a big fan of continuity, you're probably like me. But then, what I do is against my own nature, and I prompt you to go back to listen to the other episodes because I will continue where I left off. Jisnu bakshe sift salah, Nanak Patshahi Patsa. The one who are blessed with the ability and the awareness to be able to stay in gratitude, to sing praises of the Almighty, are the ones who are the true kings who walk this planet. And this is where we left off, and this is where we bring ourselves to as an awareness. Amul gun, amul vapar. Priceless virtues of that divine form that creates us in its likeness, in its own image, in our own essence and fragrance. All the dealings conducted by that divine are priceless. Now, why at all would that priceless dealing occur if there is only one entity that subdivides itself into various creatures and myriad forms, as we were discussing last time? Why would it feel the need to experience amnesia by giving us this form of life again and again and again in a repeat mode, these incarnations? Because when that thick veil of forgetfulness falls upon us, we begin to see ourselves as separate from others. We see ourselves as entities that can interact and transact with one another. It becomes a beautiful test for the soul, because in its immensity, when the soul is home, when it's part of the ocean and not an independent, surging, urging wave, it sits there in comfort and calm, in complete awareness of the divine blessing it is in. It's in a blissful state. There's absolutely nothing but endless oceans of love. But to come into separation is to feel, acknowledge, and admire that love. To come into darkness is to start appreciating light itself. And through these experiential plays, as all our old scriptures have taught, we learn, we grow, we expand, we become wiser, more tolerant, and souls capable of more love. So with that sole motive, we move ahead, because Amul Gun, Amul Vapar Ye, Amul Pandar. Those priceless treasures that abound, that are all around us, are provided by the divine. When people fight for clumps of mud to gain access to oil, to various other resources, and all the politicization of the world happens around us, there is grief, there's turmoil, there's seizure, there's forced capture, there's torture. All that is such a futile game, and the divine still smiles at all this play. Because all this play will ultimately lead us into a state of complete joyfulness, of complete realization that we are meant for love. It does not slight them, make them unworthy of paying attention to or stopping. It just makes us come home to the realization that this too shall pass, this experience too shall be endured, and the learning will come through. Amul ave, amul le jaye. And in these transitory, temporal transactions, everything and everyone is priceless. The ones who come to him and the one who buy from him or her, if you'd please. Because There's this sense of pricelessness about everything because Nanak does not put a price on anything. The divine, the dancing, whirling, singing. Baba Nanak, in his ecstasy, tells us everything is priceless. Every transaction, every iota, every speck, every insignificant dust mote is priceless. Amul pai, amulla samai. And priceless is the love, and priceless is the absorption. So even the movement in and out of love, in and out of this infiniteness is priceless. And as everything is divine, every action, every movement, every karma, every dushkarma, every positive, negative act is a part of that pricelessness of movement. Amul taram, amul diban. Now, all the laws laid down of true dharma, not what man has created for selfish motives, for holding people to ransom in a society, for keeping people in check, reining them, instilling fear for the divine in them. What Nanak refers to, what Baba talks about, is the law of dharma, the eternal, unshakable laws scripted by the divine. And priceless is his core of justice. And the justice is all love. Ultimately, there are those arms spread wide open, welcoming each and every one, the sinner, the saint, the doer, the slaughterer, anyone, everyone is welcome. Amul Baksis, Amul Nisan. Because under the banner and insignia of that divine one, whose Nisan, whose insignia is a stamp, a signature on every aspect of this universe, blessings are infinite and they are priceless. Now, isn't this paradoxical? Something that's so abundant becomes priceless. But Amul Karam, Amul Farman. The mercy, the command, everything is priceless. So, the earth you walk upon, the air you breathe, the actions you commit, the words you weave, the things we do, everything is sacred. And in the whole sacredness of this experience, there can only be one motive, and that is love. Amullo amul akhya na jai. And beyond any kind of expression, this feeble attempt to translate pure light of love into words is just a feeble attempt, because amullo amul akhya na jai, aag rahe, live, lie. Now, keep speaking, keep talking continuously and remain absorbed in that love is how existence needs to be shaped, how living needs to be modeled. And if you can live in the continuum of love, it'll be priceless, and you will understand what Nanak is experiencing. Aakhe Ved Paat Puran, aakhe Pade Kare Bekhan. Everybody has lectured about it. Scholars have spoken about it. The Vedas and the Puranas also speak about it. Aakhe Barme, aakhe Ind, Brahma, the creator, and Indra, ruling over the heavens, speaks about it. Aakhe Gopi, Teh Govind. Gopis and Krishna have been dancing in their ecstasy, in their joyful rejoicing. Even they speak about it. Shiva speaks about it, because Aakhe Isar, Aakhe Siddh. All the ones who've attained Siddhis are speaking about it. Aakhe Kete, Kite Buddh. The Buddhas speak about it. And so many of them have been created. Aakhe Danav, Aakhe Dev. The Devas and the Danavas, The demons and the demigods, they're all speaking about it. Aakhe sur nar mun jan save. Spiritual warriors and heavenly beings and silent sages, this is a song in unison. Even people who serve, they speak. Kete aakhe aakan pai. And many speak and they keep trying to describe the divine through every action they take. Everything you do is divine action. If it's aligned with love, if it's not out to harm anyone, not to hurt anyone, it's action of love. Kete keke ut jai. And many have been speaking about the divine again and again, and they've risen from where they were and departed. So this beautiful cycle of continuity continues. Nanak humbles himself down to another one in the crowd who's just ecstatic and joyful and in complete surrender, speaking of love in a state of bliss. Kete keke ut jai. So keep talking and keep moving on. I speak and I move on. You speak and you hear, you move on. We all do. Ete kite hor kare. And if the divine were to create as many again as they already are, as they already keep coming and going, ta aakana sakke ke, even then he or she or whatever form you want to take to envision this divine remains indescribable. Jevad pave tevad hoy. And nothing outside the divine's wish is occurring in this universe. This perfect harmony. Each of our actions are coming together according to a divine plan. Nanak jane sacha soy. Only the true one knows, and this is one revealed truth that Nanak says, I know. I've finally come to this. Je ko aakhe bol vigad. If anyone presumes to describe God, ta likhiye sar gavara gavar. He or she is the greatest fool. So even all these feeble attempts to write, to describe, to sing praises are just attempts. And if anyone claims that I can describe the divine, he or she remains the greatest fool, says Nanak. So isn't this humbling? Isn't this ennobling oneself, turning oneself into another one of those ecstatic fools who's joyfully describing the divine? And such extreme humbleness is what brings you right there next to God, where you can feel and smell that fragrant breath of the divine that actually works through you. So may what I just read bring you also into that proximity, into that closeness. And as I end this little spurt of connection that I felt and I wanted to share, I want to remind you, this shall continue if the divine ordains. And under that hukum, I will come back. Till then, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru.